This one's kind of a love song, I guess, is a phrase Tom York said during his tour at the Scott Trade Center.
Thank you. This next one's kind of a love song, I guess. Sort of.
Reckoner has a 4/4 time signature, meaning it gets 4 beats to every measure. Its genre is alternative indie. The song was released alongside the album In Rainbows in 2007.
Let's throw in the guitar now. The guitar is played by no other than Johnny Greenwood. Now let's throw out the percussion so we can hear the guitar alone. And that's all we have for the intro of the song. Let's move on to the first verse. Lead singer Tom York, he originally created the song with the name Feeling Being Pulled Apart by Horses, but he later changed the sound and name and renamed it to Reckoner. Though, if you want to hear the original sound that Tom York made, he released it under his own name. Link is in the description. The song structure is verse, verse, refrain, bridge, verse, refrain. Okay, let's move on to verse 2 now. In verse 2, we add a bunch more sounds, piano, bass, and the backing vocals. Let's silence everything but the piano. Playing just one chord every measure, it creates a dissonant feeling, like the theme of the song being scared and alone. Scared of the things you have done, or even the unknown. We'll dive into the meaning more when we analyze the lyrics of the song in Act 2. We now move on to the refrain. Keeping the same sound, the refrain is just a repeating line in the verse we'll see again. Let's now check out the bass. Here we enter the bridge. You can hear the percussion and bass fading away while the backing vocals grow louder. Let's silence everything and hear what they are saying. The backing vocals, sung by the other members in the band, add to the eerie feeling, especially what Tom is trying to portray in the bridge. Again, more on this in Act 2. You can hear the strings a lot clearer here. As we finish the bridge, we throw in the bass and percussion again, moving on to verse 3. Shorter than verse 1 and 2, this is the resolve of the song. It takes all the energy built up and finish it. This time though, the strings are very active. Finishing the song, and now with the last refrain, we have all the instruments active. They've all built up to this point, and now it's time to ease them all out. First we lose the bass, then quickly the piano and strings, followed by the backing vocals where we are left with the same starting instruments. Tom York's voice, the guitar, and percussion. It's gone complete circle and we are where we started at the beginning.
Okay, hold up, John. Why the lemons? There aren't any real reasons why I've been using lemons, but in the From the Basement live recording of Reckoner, you can see Johnny Greenwood playing a lemon shaker. Lemons aren't that big of a thing in the Radiohead's universe, but in the opening track, Everything in Its Right Place, to one of their biggest albums, Kid A, we get the lyrics, "Yesterday I woke up sucking a lemon." Which just means that he woke up sad and depressed. Tom wrote this around the time of his album, OK Computer, and it was just a dark place for him. But I guess the lemon stuck with him to this album, haha. Anyways, let's go back into the review. Reckoner is the heart of its album, In Rainbows. In Rainbows was going to be named Reckoner until Radiohead decided on In Rainbows, which the name actually comes from Reckoner in the bridge when the backing vocals sing, What does Reckoner even mean? Reckoner is the subject of the song who Tom is singing to. The Reckoner is someone who reasons or reckons. This song, Reckoner, can also be an allusion to Faust by Goethe, a play first performed in 1829. In the play, the Reckoner would be the devil, and Tom would be Faust. If you are interested in learning more about Goethe's Faust and its connection to other Radiohead songs from the album like Videotape and Faust Arp, then you can check out the link below to understand the story of Faust. But I would not go into detail in this video, for I want to look at Reckoner from the other angle, where instead of the Reckoner being the devil, the Reckoner is God. This song has so many similarities to the Bible story of the Great Flood. Let's dive into it. In verse 1, we hear Tom telling God, the Reckoner, that he can't take it with him. He doesn't want to die. He'd rather stay on earth dancing with his pleasures, the pleasures or sin of mankind. He is too scared to go into the afterlife because he doesn't think God will accept him. But now we have God talking back to Tom, saying that there is hope. The evil that he keeps going back to distract himself from life or events in life doesn't stop the love from God towards Tom. The bittersweet distractors could be anything, but I view it as addiction. Addiction because you are scared of something. The something that is so terrible that we dare not speak its name. This could be someone drinking because their life is falling apart and they are scared of what will happen next. But in the first line in the verse we hear, "You are not to blame." Tom is giving hope to all his fans and listeners, letting them know it's okay and we'll all get through our individual struggles. Dedicated to
This goes hand in hand with the bridge, so I'll just let the bridge play out.
Because we separate ripples on a blank
Tom is coming to grips with reality, and that we all will die eventually because we separate. We separate from our mortal bodies and move on to the next phase. Maybe an afterlife, maybe we are born again, or maybe there's nothing at all. But Tom is knowing that he can't distract himself with his pleasures forever. The lines, "because we separate, like ripples on a blank shore in rainbows," is my favorite lyric from the entire album. He again repeats the phrase, but this time he throws in the words "in rainbows." Like I said in the beginning of the track, it has similarities to the Great Flood from the Bible. After God flooded the earth, he created the rainbow as a promise to never flood the earth again. But it also is a symbol of hope. I love the picture it paints here. The rain is falling down from the heavens, the water is rising, and all the sinners are hiding, crying, trying to escape, and well, dying. That's the lyrics, "because we separate like ripples on a blank shore." But then after the flood has ended, the lyrics come again as the boat finds land and the rainbow appears. This time in the third verse, we hear Tom talking to the Reckoner. Again, instead of saying "leave me alone," he is asking to let God take him. "Take me to heaven, show me the wonders." This song is all about change, transitioning, and moving on. Tom went from being scared of death to accepting and then realizing that it doesn't have to be a sad event. While that was all about death, it doesn't have to be. It could be about any event in your life, any struggle, and just the change that needs to come with it, and the hope that everyone will make it out alive. This song closes with the same refrain, but now after hearing the bridge, we know what it is talking about. The rainbow is dedicated to all human beings, to everyone's struggles. Hope is given to everyone in every situation. Now, while I don't believe in God, I do pull a lot from this song. It's all about transitioning and how Tom is trying to give hope to all his fans and listeners. It's a beautiful track and one of Radiohead's best albums, if not the best.